We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello and welcome to the Nerd Eternal Network presents Icons. This is the session 0 of our third season, Icons Academy. This season is going to be a little different. We're going to divide it up into kind of 3 vignettes, Icons Academy being the first portion. After that, we're going to do some sci-fi, and then something with another super team. But for session 0 today, we're getting together to create characters, and if we have time, maybe some of the supporting cast. I do want to make sure all of y'all create at least one member of the staff at the school. Whether it's a pre-established character y'all already come up with or somebody new. Alright. As we talked about before stream, we're going to be using the Rolling for Powers using the Great Powers book, as well as the extra origin step in Icons A to Z under their Wise for Youth section. So let's see. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and get started. First step of hero creation is the origin roll. So we'll start up. So all y'all give me a, let's see, it's a 2d6 roll.
And are we doing this within Roll20?
Yes.
Do this to me.
All right, Taylor, you got an 8. That makes you a gimmick.
Oh, hold on.
Sorry.
Let me go ahead and put that down.
Roll
All right.
twice, but just count my first one, I guess.
Okay.
No, it looks like it only took it once.
Oh, you roboted out there for a second, so you might have just been dealing with some lag. All right, so let's see. What was it? Yeah, Tarky's a gimmick. Zach rolled a 6, which is transformed.
Excellent.
Curtis also rolled a 6, so he is also a transformed. And then Mike rolled a 7, which is a birthright.
I did?
Yeah, you rolled a 1.
Oh, yeah, so I did. Yeah. I don't know why it came up as a dodge and added +3 to it, but okay. What's a 7 again?
7 is a birthright. So let's see, a gimmick for, let's see, Taylor's a gimmick. The character's powers all come from devices of some kind. One of the character's mental attributes of your choice is increased by 2 to a maximum of 10. The 2 transforms. The hero was a normal human, but became superhuman through some outside agency, often an accident or experiment. One of your character's abilities of your choice, attribute or power, is increased by 2 to a maximum of 10. And of course, transformed accidents and stuff, that can be, science or magic based or anything else you can come up with. And
Okay, I'm
Michael had a birthright. I'm sorry, Tyler, you were saying something.
I'm sorry. With gimmick, you said attribute or power +2?
No, all your if you have any powers, they have to come from devices, and your mental one of your mental attributes.
Okay, intellect or willpower. Okay.
Let's see. Mike got a birthright. The hero was born with or destined to develop superhuman powers. The character gains your choice of 1 additional power, which should be innate and not a device, or +2 on a rolled power level of your choice to a maximum of 10. And of course, birthrights cover things like, mutants, inhumans, aliens, if the entire race has that power, that sort of thing. Now, over here over here as I'm looking at it on my screen. All right, let's see. The origins for Wise for Youth Only
Is it
requires a
on a-
D6. So everybody roll 1 dice for me.
5.
Ah, I'm an original.
What did I just get? What's that number that just came up for me? I didn't do that.
You rolled an 8.
Yeah,
You are beyond our comprehension.
I
is what
guess.
you are.
I'm not sure why that came up for me.
I see the 7 that you rolled earlier, and then I see Tarky, Zach, and Curtis. I don't see one for you.
Oh, okay. Well, someone saw it for me because I'm not the only one who.
Oh,
Okay,
I see the 8.
I saw Curtis's 8.
Yeah.
oh, okay. So I'm rolling. Okay, now I'm going to
Yeah,
try
just
to
one
roll
dice.
just 1d6.
All right.
What just happened? Wait, what's going on?
So Taylor got a 1. That is an original, like he said. You're an original act, although a teen, your origin isn't connected directly to another hero or villain. Well, this tends to make you your own person. It also means you don't necessarily have the same kind of support network as more connected young heroes. And of course, with these, it's more background role-playing cues than anything. There's no stat adjustments with these. Zach got a 5. Oh, sorry, Zach. You were an orphan.
Oh,
You're alone in the world, at least as far as family goes. You might have lost your parents, your whole family, or even the entire world. However, left you on your way may also be what motivates you. And you have opportunities to create a new family if you can let people in to do it. Curtis got an 8.
Which is
How did
illegal.
Curtis get an 8?
He rolled a D8.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that would explain it.
You know, when you said I got an 8, I'm thinking cool. But you know, my bad.
All right, then Curtis got a 2. Curtis is a legacy.
Ooh.
You've inherited the legacy of a previous hero or villain. This can range from their entire shtick, name, costume, powers, and all, to just an element of the legacy, such as the name or powers. Your predecessor may be a relative, such as a parent, or there might be no connection between you other than your legacy. So you are in some way connected to a previous hero.
It could
Or
be
villain.
like Hulk and Hulkling, or
Kind of. I mean,
Batman and Nightwing.
yeah, it could go either one of those ways, strictly.
Landshark Jr.
Though Nightwing might fall her sidekick more. All right, and Michael rolled a 6, an oddity.
Ooh, oh dear.
You're only ostensibly a teen. You might be an ageless spirit inhabiting a teenager's body, an alien with a different life cycle, or an adult de-aged to relive your teen years, or some other oddity that technically makes you a teen, but also makes you different from your peers.
So basically, any romance subplot's going to be inherently creepy for me.
Well, I mean, if you're an alien that's 50 years old but matures at a rate equivalent to teenagers.
You know, you're an elf. An elf's in their teens and at 50.
Curious.
Elves in diapers.
They're probably made
They'll
out of
be
geese.
the finest crafted, most comfortable diapers in the universe.
That
People
or
will
elves-
quest
creepy
for.
like Family Guy.
That or elves don't poop, one or the other.
Of course, they don't poop.
They are kind of retentive
well.
sometimes. I mean, we say. All right, so that's got everybody's origin.
They poopy rainbows.
They're like owls. They just pop it back up.
All right, so I'm a birth rate audit. I can work with that.
All right. Let me
I'm an
just
original
jot those
gimmick.
down. So yeah, you're an original. Was Zach? Oh yeah, Zach was an orphan. Because it's superhero, somebody's got to be.
Man, I was making jokes about playing an angsty loner guy, but then boom, my parents are dead right there in my lap. I might never work against that.
See, Curtis was the legacy. All right. All right. So that's got our origins covered. Next up is the powers phase.
Mhm.
Let me grab the Great Powers book. The level determination chart will be the same, so I'll keep that open.
It's gonna be real embarrassed if I'm a gimmick with no powers.
I don't think, if I recall correctly, zero powers isn't really an option unless, I mean, even if you're trained, you have some kind of power, but it's just not like, it's explained as maybe something that's not a power, but even though it's a power.
All right. Oh,
If I recall the
I'm quite
minimum.
ready for the
I've
ultimate power
decided I'm
book.
totally okay if I just get something that, is silly or just a strictly support character.
Yeah, it's true.
Well-
That's the point of random, right?
The way you can fiddle with the random, the quote unquote random in this game, it's hard to come up with something completely unusable. Because you can tweak. There's enough stuff you can tweak, you can usually get something. Alright. So first we need to roll for how many powers you got. Which is actually still in the basic book, so we're not quite to great power yet. So everybody give me a 2d6 roll.
Come on,
Oh
baby.
my gosh, I did 2d20.
I think I'm going to log out and log in again because there's something weird going on where rolls are coming up for me that I didn't roll. I'll be right. Well,
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere, but I'm just going to pop out and then pop back into roll 20.
All right.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Yeah, Ks don't have circles in them.
All right. So
Well, there's that.
All right. So I'm sorry. We're giving a 2d6 roll.
yes.
That's much more like it.
And I think Zach rolled first. So Zach, you rolled a 7.
Yes, sir.
That means you have 3 powers.
Wunderbar, wunderbar. 1, 2, 3.
Curtis rolled a 5. That is also 3 powers. Taylor rolled 8. That is 4 powers. And Mike rolled a 9, which is also 4 powers.
Cool.
So y'all are
So we
all
all
neck
have
and neck there right now.
Yeah, we all have a pretty large spread on powers.
And of course, as we go further into character creation, you can always sacrifice powers to give extras to other stuff, We'll fiddle with that after we've rolled everything. Alright, so everybody, for their first power, I need 2d6 for the power type table.
Rolled a 9.
Got me, it's an 8.
Alright, I think that's everybody. So, alright, we'll start with Zach. You got a 9, that is an alteration power.
Right there on first list.
Yes. So first roll me a d6 to find out which group under alteration you go for. That's the bottom one. Roll me another d6 for your specific power.
1.
Invisibility.
Ooh, I like it.
Ooh. Look at you.
We were wrong. You're not going to roll Wolverine.
Invisible
The
Wolverine.
Invisible Woman.
Alright, so power 1 for him is invisibility. Or as they used to call it in Space Ghost, Inviso power. For any of y'all old enough to remember that cartoon.
Yes. Though my fondest memories of it will always impress me coast to coast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, so that was X. 9.
Hi, my name is Brack.
Brack rolled.
He got his own show, he was so popular.
That
anyway.
show was funny too.
So Mike rolled a 5. That is a control power.
Oh yeah, yes I did. Sorry, I forgot that I actually pulled that roll.
Pardon me.
So roll me another d6. And that'll tell us which third of the chart you're in. Alright, so the middle. And then one more d6 to give us your specific power.
Ooh, matter
So
control.
5 is matter control.
Ooh la la.
I like how in this we've all also pulled up the Icons Assembled book and are scrolling through.
All right. Let's see. Take a 9, make it a 5.
Oh, I have to roll again because it's either telekinesis or transmutation. Should I do that now?
Yeah, you go ahead and do that now.
All right, one more. And it's telekinesis. I was hoping for transmutation. That's okay.
All right, so Zach rolled his 9, Mike had rolled a 5. All right. Here's
Right, I was
the 8 for Taylor. And an
I
8
was
is a
supposed to-
movement power.
I was supposed to do 2d6, not 1d6, right?
Yes, for the power cap, for the power type, yes.
Okay, move power. And now a d6.
Yes.
A6.
All right, so that gives you the bottom half of the table and another D6.
Oh, thank goodness. I just looked at it and went, oh no, it's wall crawling. I'm falling down the Zach rabbit hole.
Well, you say that, but you've got to roll, so.
1.
Spinning.
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 You know, I once played the last time I played an Icon Super Scroll game. My main power was spinning, combined with vertigo. No, it was a mind blast that I described as a vertigo effect.
Yeah, I ran a one-shot over another channel. Or not a one-shot, it was a mini-series over another channel. Where we had a guy who just fight. He got the spinning power and named himself. He was everything else about him. He was going kind of detective, so he was Detective Top.
I think I just called my character Spins. Detective Top.
All right. All right, I've got too many dice rolls on here. I completely lost track of where we have been.
All right, we're up to Curtis, who rolled a 6.
All right,
7, I thought.
I'm
Ooh.
looking directly under my 8, and it's Curtis rolling 2d6, a 1 and a 5.
I'm saying a 1 and a 6.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
only seeing
still
1 and a
the
6.
Uh-oh.
All right, let's see. I've got Zach's 9, Mike's 5, Tarky's 8. Then I've got a 6 from Curtis, and then he rolled like more times down under here.
I got confused what I was doing.
All right, so Curtis has got a 6 with the first thing you rolled, so we'll go with that.
Okay, if that was a 2d6, then I'll take it. I lost track of what I
Let me
was
check
doing.
and make sure it was 6s. That would make a difference.
Yeah, it's in line. Zach,
Yeah.
Michael, me, Curtis rolling 2d6.
All right,
Okay.
Curtis rolled 2d6. That gives you, let's see, 6 is a defensive power. All right, so now roll me 1d6 to find out where on the table you're at. Was that 4 what you rolled?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear it come up. 4 is in the middle, so one more d6 to give you your specific power. So that is a 5. Reflection.
Ooh.
All right, and now for everybody's second power. Nobody roll yet, though. We're going to do this one person at a time this time so I can keep it
Stop
rolling.
rolling.
So, starting with Curtis. Curtis, give me another 2d6 roll for your next power. All right, 6. That's another defensive power.
Wow.
Give me another d6 roll. All right, so you're a 7.
Wrong die. Sorry. Wrong button.
Trust us,
you're in the
folks.
middle
We're
again.
professionals.
What happens if he gets double reflection?
Then you re-roll.
Okay.
All right, so that gives you the middle categories. So roll for your specific power. One more d6.
Oh, the only two remaining there are good.
So you got a 3, which falls under life support.
Hmm.
All right, now Mike, give me a 2d6 roll for your next power.
Ooh, mental power.
On my table here, it says offense.
For a 7? Are you saying a 7?
Power type table.
Yeah,
I've got a
power
set-
type is 2d6 roll, 2 to 3 mental, 4 to 5
Yeah,
control,
now this
5
is, I'm going
defensive.
out of the great powers book, remember?
Oh,
So am I. Wait a minute. Yeah, because yeah, look here. For me, 7. Do you see that? Wait, let me hang on. Okay, it's backwards to be fair, but if you see here, there, a 7 indicates a mental power in my Great Books copy. Now, is it possible that we have different versions where
It
maybe
must,
different
because
things?
you were pointing right
What-
where offensive is
What
on
page
mine.
is that?
Page 30.
I
Of
want
the
to
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll go by the D. I must have a different printing, but I'll go by the DM, by the Game Master's chart.
yeah.
Gee,
'cause, like, I
just
have
tell
a
me what
symbol
I get.
pulled up, and it's on page 59.
Oh, that's curious.
And
I'm
mine says
using the
offensive.
revised version of Great Power, and yeah, 7's offensive.
Okay,
All
this
right.
is a pretty old copy. So
This was one of the like print on demand ones off of.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
Oh, that's right.
Mine
You just
too.
ordered that, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I got this like way back when it first came out, so I bet they did change it. All right.
Well, you know,
Well,
it
they
came
probably-
out before the assembled edition came out, so he may have gone back and tweaked it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
And
well,
made it the
that's what it is.
same. Okay.
So I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna roll dice, and you tell me what I get. What?
All right, so that was
I've rolled a 1.
offensive. All right, so 1 is the top half of the chart. Roll me another one.
Ooh.
1, 2,
Aura.
or cool.
All right, that is.
Oh, okay. Now it's different than the book I have. So yes, we're going to have to follow Jason precisely.
First rule of Hackmaster: the GM is always right.
Aura goes pretty well with telekinesis.
In fact, it even says that in the assembled edition.
What's
Oh,
that?
what
Long
does it say?
run, the GM is basically the GM is right. You just got to suck it up. And,
Well, sure. That's every game, isn't it?
All right, so that was Curtis and Mike. Taylor, give me a 2d6 roll.
A 5.
That is a control power.
Ooh.
Control power is always the most interesting
Then
ones.
give me another d6 and another d6.
A 3
Okay.
and a 2.
Energy control.
Now it is time for me to scroll down and read what that does.
All right. And Zach, if you would give me a roll,
Yes, sir.
2d6.
I got an 8.
That is a movement power. And now if you give me another d6 and another d6.
2 and a 4.
2 and a 4. Flight.
Nice. Oh no, I might actually be rolling up the Invisible Woman.
Or you're rolling up Space Ghost, one or the other.
Oh, that was so awesome.
Well, probably Jan or Jace, since you're a teenager.
Right.
That is considerably less cool.
Or the monkey.
Oh,
The
no.
monkey. Was the monkey a teenager?
I don't know how old the monkey was.
What was his name? Blip? Was it Blip? I don't want to confuse him with Gleek. Gleek was the Wonder Twins.
Yeah, I think it was Bloop, but whatever.
Gleek was the Wonder Twins, and Wondermutt was Wendy and Marvin.
That's right, Wonder what.
Well, you know, Hanna-Barbera just could not do a cartoon without some kind of animal.
They were marketable.
All right, so what's that? Flight. All right, and so Curtis, give me a 2d6 for your third power.
not 2d8, Curtis.
What are you getting into?
Being all sorts of bad.
All right, so that's a 6. So that's a defensive power.
You are the defense master,
Jeez.
or mistress.
He is the tank. All right, so give me another D6 and then another D6.
Curtis is untouchable.
All right, so 5's the bottom half.
Ooh,
bottom
ooh,
third.
ooh. I hope you get a 1 or a 2.
Did the second one go? Yeah.
Yes,
I thought
it took a second, but it finally popped up.
Okay.
Because you got a 3. So you have regeneration.
No.
That is a bizarre.
You've got life support, reflection, and regeneration.
Generation.
You are gonna be tough to kill.
Yeah, but not so good in a fight.
Unless you roll a
I
high
mean-
strength or a
Well, that's true.
high stat that you swap to your strength, you know.
Yeah, all you need is one dump stat. Or one reverse dump stat.
All right, let's see here. All right, Curtis, I believe that is all your powers because I believe you had 3.
That is all my powers.
So Zach, you're also one with 3 powers. So let's go ahead and get yours.
Alrighty.
So give me a 2d6.
It's a 7.
You get an offensive power.
Yay.
So give me another d6 and then another d6.
Blast,
So that's
blast,
a
blast.
4.
4 and 2.
Energy drain.
Hmm.
Which can be an evil power.
It can be. It doesn't have to be. All right, Mike. For your third power.
Yes. 2d6.
Alteration.
Alteration.
So another d6 and another d6. 6. So that's the bottom. And mimicry.
Huh. Is this something where I have to roll for what type of mimicry? Yes. I have to roll one more d6.
All right.
All right. And tell me what I know what my book says, but what does your book say?
I don't know. Mine
Mimicry?
hasn't said anything about having to re-roll for those. So let me look at mimicry.
Oh,
the roll.
powers.
The table's under mimicry. Okay.
Yeah, it's under the power description for
For
that third
plant
one.
mimicry.
Okay. Interesting.
All right, and Taylor. Let's see what your third power is going to be.
There's an 8.
That's a movement.
Great. And a 3.
All right, so that's the top half of the chart. And one more.
6.
Leaping. So you're spinning and leaping.
Let's go all together.
He's like a tornado.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's see, it was Mike and Taylor that had a fourth power.
That's right.
All right, so Mike, if you want to roll 2d6.
Sure.
All right, offensive power. Bottom of the chart. And energy drain.
Hmm.
So we've got a couple of energy drainers. Interesting.
My power combination just got interesting.
All right, so that's everybody's powers except for our birthright, who may later on choose to take one more power.
That's right.
I only have 3 of my 4.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
I know
sorry.
someone else. Yeah, someone else had 4 powers.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Go ahead and give me a roll then.
4.
That is a control power.
3.
All right, middle of the chart. And
And a 5.
matter control. I believe matter control was one where you had a roll for...
Yes.
Because that's not the first matter control we've had today either.
That's right.
All right, so give me one more d6, Taylor, to see if it's telekinesis or transmutation.
All right. Douche. A 5.
Another 5. That is transmutation. So we
That
got
could be
somebody that
fun.
can change matter into different matter, and somebody that can actually move the matter around.
Is transmutation in my book? Yes. Okay. Good.
Alrighty. All right, so that's everybody's powers picked out. Like I said, unless we come back later, unless the birthright comes back later for another battle. So back over to the main book. Oh, you know, I did something out of order. I skipped your attributes. Not that,
I was
not that
curious
it,
about that.
yeah, not that it would affect one way or the other, but all right. Let me. Oops, that's not what I needed. All right, so we will start off on attributes. We'll start off with prowess, and we roll on the. Where is the level determination? There we are. All right, so we'll just go down the list. Curtis, give me a 2d6 roll to see what your prowess is. All right, so a 6. So your prowess is 4. Mike, if you'd like to give me a roll.
Uh-oh.
Your prowess is a 1.
Okay, that's fine. Just never been in a fight before, that's all.
Taylor? You got a 3, so your prowess is a 2. And Zach.
7.
Your prowess is a 5.
Mhm.
You may have scrapped once or twice. Or actually been trained by the time you get to a 5. Alright, now we do the same thing for coordination. Curtis? Alright, so your coordination is a 4.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
There's worse patterns. 4's, you know.
Yeah, no.
It's all right.
Mike.
Better than a 2.
Here
Oh,
we go.
Speaking of 2s, you rolled a 3, which gives you a 2.
Yeah.
Should we give Mike a mulligan on one?
No, that's fine. This is,
He can swap stats around later. He can take specialties that bump
Yeah.
whatever he needs to do with it. And you're teenagers. You're not supposed to be good at everything.
Exactly. I may not be good at anything. That's
Taylor,
fine.
give me a roll.
Also, it's only 8 issues.
A7.
Sometimes it's fun to play characters that aren't good at anything.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is the time to do it in a Supers game.
Taylor, your coordination is a 5.
Julio.
Zachary. And 5 for my coordination.
Yep, because you also rolled a 7.
I think it'd be hilarious if I roll a 7 for strength, though.
He can't hit, but when he does, look up.
Something's getting wrecked. It's probably not going to be what I want.
He can't hit. Then how does he keep winning? Oh, he does ground pound, so he just affects everybody in the area. It's hard to miss the earth.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
All right, I'll give you some next time I see it.
All right, thanks.
Which, probably be the folks' house. It'll be one of their sodas, but, it still counts. All right. Curtis, roll for your strength.
Bum.
Your strength is a 6. Not superhuman, but awful close.
Not shabby.
Mike. A 9. Your strength is also a 6. Also not superhuman, but also not bad.
I'm about to be very depressed.
Roll it, Taylor. Yeah, your strength is a 3. It's average.
That's average.
Maybe
Human.
even a little above average. I forget exactly.
Average for a human adult.
So probably above average for a teen. And Zach. Also a 5.
5.
Oh no, he rolled a 4. Yeah. So 5's pretty good.
Yeah. So I got 3 5. So that's pretty good.
All right. After strength is intellect. Curtis, show us how smart you are.
I am a genius.
I was waiting for him to roll like 2d20 again or something, but he didn't. All right, you got a 6, so that's a level 4. So above average.
Yep.
Mike, a 4 gives you a intelligence of 3, or intellect of 3 rather. So that's solid. Taylor, 4 that gives you an intellect of 3. And Zach,
Nice.
that gives you an intellect of 6.
Who's homework I'm copying?
All right, now we'll finish up with willpower. Curtis,
We
Wait,
haven't
what?
done awareness.
You mean awareness?
oh, I was skipping one, wasn't I? Good catch.
It's odd how you skipped awareness.
Right.
And you all realized it, so you've all got decent awarenesses. All right, so Curtis got a 5 on the dice, which is a 4 awareness.
Man, I've got like 4, 4, 4, 4, which I mean, that's good for a teenager.
Yep.
You're very
Right.
consistent. That's a 2, if I recall correctly.
Which is probably more typical of a teenager.
Yes. I was going to say, it's like, man, they really should have given teenagers a drop your awareness down, a point automatically.
Your brains are jello molds full of hormones and fear.
Just like the first time, awareness is my highest stat.
Well, you could always choose to swap it.
Yeah. What does the 8 give me, by the way?
An 8 gives you a 5.
Okay. Oh, it's tied.
And Zach,
7.
7, that gives you a 5. Now we'll finish up with willpower. Curtis,
Oh, big boy
an
number.
11.
Woo!
That gives you a 7.
You're untouchable mentally as well as.
Are we doing
Physical.
the Y is for youth max out stuff?
Yes. Which 7 is where it maxes out, so. He reached the max, he did not surpass it.
Oh, you're right. Tops out at 7. Okay.
I hope.
Alright, Mike.
Here's where I hope for a good stat because telekinesis runs off of willpower. So let's see.
I hope you didn't jinx yourself. Oh,
Nope.
you jinxed yourself.
I totally jinxed myself.
So you rolled a 2,
You're gonna
that gives you a level of 1.
You're gonna need to trade out.
Yeah, that just means you're going to trade that one out for something.
Oh, I'm trading a couple things out.
Well, you only get 1.
Oh, I'll get to trade out one.
Yeah, you get when you're done when we're done rolling, you get to swap any 2 of your attributes.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah. Interesting.
All right, got a 6.
6 gives you a 4. And Zachary,
6.
that
Gives you a
also gives you a
4.
4. All right, so that's everybody's stats. Now, some of you, the birthright, I know can choose to raise a stat or a power, or maybe it's just a power. I forget.
I think it's a
yes,
power
you-
plus 2 or a new power or an additional
That's right,
power.
an additional power or a +2. The transforms can increase an attribute or a power by 2.
When do I have to make that call? Like now, or
Uh,
anytime during character creation.
it doesn't really specify, so I've always just done anytime during character creation.
Okay,
And I kind of want to see what my power levels are before I.
that's right. You
Yes.
have to-
That's what we'll get to next. Let's see, and then of course the gimmick gets to raise his any of his 3 mental attributes. He gets to pick one of those to raise by 2.
Is that just intellect, awareness, willpower?
Yes.
I'll go ahead and pop willpower up by 2 to a 6.
Okay. And with those plus 2s, you can potentially, go past the 7 limit. The 7 is just a limit on what you roll. Pluses can still bump you
Oh,
past
okay.
that. Let's see here.
Oh, that's good to know.
All right. So now we need to level determine your powers, which is rolling on the same chart. All right. So everybody for their first powers, which I failed to write them all down. I started writing them all down and then I lost track. So we'll start off with Curtis. What was your first power?
Reflection.
All right. Roll for your reflection. All right. So you rolled a 4. Your reflection is power level 3. Mike, roll for yours.
Yeah, this is telekinesis.
Okay. Well, matter control / telekinesis.
Yes, matter control telekinesis.
All right, so 6. That gives you a 4.
Right.
All right, Taylor.
Spinning.
Oh, nice.
You got a level 6 for your spinning.
Spinning.
Yay.
Spinning
You
was,
can spin good.
what do you do with spinning? I can't remember.
You spin. It's what spinning is.
There's some movement, some damage stuff in it, or damage reduction, I forget.
Yeah.
And Zach,
Spinning allows you to.
Oh, go ahead, Tyler.
Well, we'll finish up Zach's.
Okay. All right, Zach, give me a roll for your, I think you
Invisibility.
yes.
Oh yeah, spinning's not horrible.
You rolled a 4.
Power level 3.
Not bad.
Spinning allows you to spin at superhuman speed and still speak, hear, and see normally while doing so. Rapid spin gives you binding resistance, generates a wind screen that substitutes the power levels for coordination to defend against physical and airborne attacks. And you can use your power level instead of your strength for damage and grabbing in close combat.
Okay. So useful.
Yeah, well, it essentially replaces my strength 3 to a 6. So it essentially in combat will double my strength. So I'm totally chill with that.
I think it's also higher than your coordination or power, so whichever one it was, you could swap it out for. Or you swap it out for coordination for defense, so it helps you with your defense too.
Yeah. It'll be useful.
Yep, absolutely.
It's called spinning, so I want to insult it.
All right, second powers. Curtis, what is your second power?
Second power is life support.
All right, give me a roll on that. A 6, that gives you a life support level of 4. And then Mike, what was your second power?
And this is Aura, and this is one of the ones I'm hoping to keep, so I'd like this to be high. Yeah, all right.
Hey,
That's
hey,
pretty
that's
high.
pretty good. Power level 5.
Cool.
And then Taylor, what was your second power?
Energy control.
All right, give me a roll. Ooh,
Ho!
a 10, that gives you a power level 6.
All right.
Ooh.
And Zach, what was your
All right.
second power?
Flight.
All right, let's see how fast you are.
Oh.
Ooh.
Level 6.
That's like a fast helicopter.
You got to it before I could.
Never die.
No, it's
Yeah,
faster.
faster.
It's as fast as a passenger jet.
Whoa! Oh wow, that's
He is faster than a fast
Stout.
helicopter.
Congratulations, you are the high schooler that goes. Man, I'm feeling kind of bad right now. You fly to Amsterdam for the weekend, then fly back.
Or, it's lunch. He's the one that flies off to McDonald's and comes back.
They got mad again because they busted all the windows.
All right, and that was Zach. So Curtis, what is your third power?
Regeneration.
All right, let's see how good you regenerate.
Oh, please tell me this gets a super high number.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
A 5, so that gives you a 4, middle of the road. Mike, what is your third power?
My third power is plant mimicry, and I'd like this one to be high as well. I'm hoping.
Two.
Oh, okay, not so much.
4, it gives you a power level of 3. Taylor, what is your third power?
Leaping.
All right. 5, so that gives us a
5.
power level 4.
That's still a decent chunk.
And Zach, what is your third power?
Oh,
Very nice. What was your third power?
energy drain.
So you rolled a 12, which would be an 8, but using the youth rules, that drops it
Up
down
down
to
to
7.
7. That's still really damn good.
But still very powerful. Congratulations. You could kill the average man with a touch.
Exactly the sort of power that you want in the hands of a teenager. It brings forth some interesting questions as to what made him an orphan.
Does actually.
All right, and a couple of you had a fourth power.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Mike, roll me for your fourth power. And what is your fourth power?
This is for my energy drain.
Okay.
Also a 12.
Nope. But he got a 6, so it's not a lot different.
Interesting.
He rolled a 9, so that makes it a 6. So. And then Taylor, you had a fourth power, I believe.
Yes, matter control transmutation.
And a 5 on the dice gives you a level 4. All right, so that is everybody's powers. Now, like I said, once you finish up with your attributes, you have the option of swapping one of those. And you know, if you can't decide right now for sure what you want to do with that, we can come back to it.
Yeah, give me a minute because I'm trying to. I'd like to raise my reflection, but I'd also like to just my prowess or strength too. So I've got to figure out how I'm gonna...
I'll look and double check, but I believe it's just your attributes that you can swap like that.
Right. No, but I have the ability from being a legacy that I can either add to an attribute or a power. I think.
I don't think that's legacy. That may be your. That's your.
Earth.
Part of
No,
your
not
origin. The what transformed was it?
You transformed. Yeah. Sorry.
No problem.
So I'm trying to figure out how to use those points.
And of course, you've also got the option of sacking one of your powers to add an extra to one of the others. Like the first season when we did this, one of the guys, Todd's character, I think he rolled like magic or something, but it was like he only got like a 1 or a 2, so he wound up like sacking it to give an extra to one of his more, one of his higher ranked powers. So are any of you at this point thinking about sacking a power?
Not yet.
Okay. All right, we will move on then to... Let's see, we did power...
Specialties?
Number of specialties. So we will start with Curtis. Give me a 2d6 roll. That is an 8.
Ooh.
You have 3 specialties. Let me me just do a quick double check and make sure there's nothing in.
Yeah, some of the specialties seemed awkward for a teenager.
Yeah, there's nothing in the
What?
there's nothing in the youth stuff for any alterations to specialties. Well, generally
mean?
speaking, I always let people pick their specialties. Though there is technically a chart to roll on if you wanted to. But it's so easy to wind up with specialties that don't fit,
Mhm.
anything else about the character. So that's when I always let you just pick what you want, so it'll make sense with everything else. And there's a lot of them that a kid probably wouldn't have. Though I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
maybe not, but
yeah, unless you're accounting for the fact that this is a kid who may have already lived in the superhero world, like a Robin type. Who,
now that's a fair point. When you bring that into it, it does broaden the. And even something like military, that could just mean they had gone to a military school prior to coming here.
Or they're in like a ROTC or something like that.
All right, Curtis, roll me and see. Yeah, roll me 2d6, and we'll see how many specialties you get.
I thought I had 3.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I was starting all over from the top. Mike. I forgot I had you roll, then we got sidetracked in conversation. Mike, you also have a 3.
Okay.
Taylor?
A 10.
Also a 3.
Bring it up, Zach. Bring it up.
9.
Also 3.
A 3. We're all so special.
8 to 10 give you 3 specialties. Every one of you rolled 8 to 10. It was 8, 9, 10, and back down to 9.
All right. I'll go ahead and state I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. I want to roll my specialties at random.
Okay. All right, so just like powers, it's a 1d6 roll for which part of the chart, and then another d6 roll for the specific one.
Now, does anyone else also want to random roll it, or do you have characters that you're starting to hammer out?
Would I have the option of, say, rolling 2 of them and keeping and determining 1?
Absolutely. I'm absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, because I figure with the plant mimicry power, I probably well, then, I probably should have, maybe botany, if that's a thing. I'm sure it fits under like sciences or something.
I'm sure it falls under science at the very least. Or
then the other 2 I'm going to roll randomly. Because I have no idea what else I have picked besides botany.
All right, Mike, well, give me a roll then.
All right. There's 1.
So that's the top part of the chart. And then one more roll.
2.
Art.
Okay, I can dig that.
That's a good character element.
Yeah.
Specialty.
And that could be sculpture, drawing, music, whatever.
Horticulture.
Bonsai.
You're really good at flower arrangement.
Yes, exactly. I think that may very well be exactly what it is.
Every funeral parlor wants you graduate.
That's sure to help with my social life.
And were you going to roll for one more of yours?
Yes.
Top of the chart. 3. Athletics.
That's curious. I mean, well, if I keep strength at 6, it would make sense, but I'm planning on swapping that out. But I'll wait that down for now. And then the third one will be something plantish.
All right, Taylor, I know you wanted to roll yours, so.
A 6.
6 at the bottom of the chart.
And a 4.
Weapons. You have to pick a weapon, of course.
This is not going to be a weapon that I have on hand most of the time. So, tonfas.
Okay. Well, if you're a gimmick, you can carry that kind of thing around, I guess. But...
Yeah.
Also, I don't think you have to be that. You could be, but I don't think you have to be that specialized in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. You don't get to just go weapon, and it's every weapon you ever put your hands on. Well,
yeah, it's.
We'll look up the description and see.
Like bludgeoning weapons is a type.
Yeah, that might very well be it.
Okay, Bludgeoning would be.
And I'm actually going over the specialties descriptions now.
All right. Well, next roll is a 6 and a 6.
Yeah, bludgeons is one. The blades, bludgeons, guns, bows, that sort of thing. All right, the next one's a 6 and a 6, so that gives you wrestling.
Ooh.
One of your extracurriculars.
All right. And for the last one, a 5 and a 5.
5 and a 5. Stealth. You're always a sneaky child.
And those all just at rank 1?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think you bump them up ranks unless you roll the same one twice. Alright.
Kind of like to roll 2 of mine.
Alright, if you'd like to, go right ahead.
I'll randomly roll mine too. Just to see what happens.
Everyone's
I didn't
Here-
mean to force the crowd, but all right.
No.
You didn't force anything. This is fun.
It's a high school game. Peer pressure should be part of it.
Yep.
Alright, Curtis, roll me one of yours. Be a D6 followed by a D6. Alright, so 5 is that part of the chart. And 3 gives you science. Now, are you going to roll all of yours or just the one?
I think I'm gonna roll 2 of mine.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that other one in. All right, that's the top of the chart. And then one more dice. Athletics. Uh-oh, I don't hear a happy baby.
He's mad because we blocked off the hall and down there and be mad.
You cut out on me mid-explanation.
We blocked off the hall, so she can't go down there and be bad. So she's mad.
Ah. Well, you can't be bad, be mad.
I'll go ahead and randomize my third one. I was going to do martial arts, but that just seems like cheating. I'll just...
It's not cheating. It's
You're designing a character. It's fine.
you can have it if you want it.
All right, I'll keep the martial arts.
All right, Zachary.
I love that he's an athletic scientist.
Hey, that's very pulp era.
Yeah.
You're going to have an old pulp era adventurer as one of your teachers, so it works.
They got a 2 and a 6. So first specialty is linguistics.
You know, some kind of languages, or you're good with languages, or something. I don't know. And then your second.
When do we roll a level determination for the specialty, or just start it at 1?
No, it just starts off at 1.
Okay.
If you roll it again, then it'll bump up.
Okay.
Congratulations. What extra language do you know?
We'll find out.
Okay.
3 and 3.
Medicine,
Hmm.
which at one rank is probably, a good level of
First
first
aid.
aid, but basic first
Yeah.
aid.
So the language you know is Latin.
Hey, yeah.
One extra language. What's it going to be? A dead language.
Dead like my soul.
It worked out for the Hebrew.
And like your parents. All right, and you had one more, I think.
Yes, sir. That's a 4 and a 1.
Occult.
Oh!
Because, when medicine don't work, try something else.
A necromancer is just
Another
very
proud,
ambitious.
another proud tradition in supers.
Well, you do have energy drain, so you're like, clearly, this is something magical that I have.
Maybe I'm a vampire. Let's see.
Honestly, at this point, I'm thinking like
Or
I accidentally
going
turned
through a
myself
really,
into a vampire.
you could be going through a really strong goth phase.
That too.
You've got some hard 8th grader syndrome going on.
Yeah, I like what I up here. This is cool. I like it.
All right.
I think I might want to roll my. I think I want to roll my third specialty as well, because I might just cover. If I end up, I'm still not entirely sure I'm going to keep plant mimicry anyway. So let's just roll it. I'm going to go ahead and roll for one
All right,
last
let me
specialty.
find my page.
Sorry,
You literally waited the second I set the book down.
I did. I know.
Tisk, the tisk, tisk. All right, here we are. I'm on the right page. Go ahead.
It's fine.
All right, so 5 and 1. Psychiatry.
Interesting. I'll take it.
Congratulations, you're the Sigmund Freud among children.
Mhm.
Or
The
among
most
plants.
dangerous potential thing ever.
Or among plants, whichever.
You're thinking these thoughts because you want to germinate with your mother.
Oh,
Why?
Ask Freud. He was the weird one.
well, I did
He
roll
made the
myself a
mistake that a lot of early psychiatrists made in assuming that he was normal.
body.
He wasn't. He had an issue or two, like everybody does. But he assumed he was the baseline, so everybody got judged based on that.
He had issues with cigars.
Sometimes a cape is just a cape.
Yep.
You know, a lot of it. I don't think hardly any of his theories I think are still in use anymore.
Yeah, it is interesting how.
It is
But-
a resurgent of neo-Freudian, but they're not taken very serious.
Well, the trick was though, he's still the father of modern psychiatry because he sat down and tried to do it scientifically. He tried, he tried to organize it and improve. He did a lot. He did a lot for the science. They've just kind of moved past,
Yeah.
kind of like whoever the old Greek guy was that they considered kind of the father of medicine.
Oh, yeah, that dude. I know
You
you're
know.
talking.
A doctor would
Hippocrates,
get locked up doing some of the stuff he did now, but that's because we know better now. We didn't then.
That was Hippocrates, if I recall correctly.
I think you're right. That's where the whole Hippocratic Oath thing comes from.
Hippocrates.
All right, so I think that's everything we have to roll.
Yeah, now everything's just final tweaking and qualities. Qualities is probably
I think I do want to sacrifice probably life support and add regrowth to regeneration as an extra.
Okay.
Because regeneration, not that your games are bad about, removing limbs and stuff, but regeneration doesn't automatically do that. So it just seems kind of cool to include.
You know how Wolverine gets hacked up all the time,
Right.
but none of the rest of the X-Men do?
Same with anyone who's like a robot.
Yeah.
Like-
So it's
Like Cyborg always got
as
it the
soon
worst.
as I add regrowth, you're going to start chopping off limbs.
Otherwise, you don't get use of your power.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing happened to Cyborg. Like he was the only one who got like arms chopped off because it was all right. My big quandary is what to do about my my attributes, given that they all suck except for strength. And I'm looking over my powers to see what I need. Because telekinesis operates off of willpower, which is currently a 1. Aura is good. I like aura because you don't need to make any rolls on it. It just happens. Like if anyone touches you, they take damage, which makes sense for a character as fragile as myself. Plant mimicry, it doesn't operate off of it doesn't necessarily operate off a specific attribute, but the powers I may adopt may. On the other hand, I like plant mimicry seems to me the most interesting power. And
Well,
if I
you
give
kind of a wide variety of stuff you can do with it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I plus if I were to give the +2 boost to one of the powers, would probably be that one. Energy drain is my highest power, but also that works off of prowess, which is no
Yeah,
good.
you got to be able to touch them to do it.
And as far as like my attributes, I mean, I don't like, I would rather, I think I would rather have a strength of 1 than like a willpower of 1, because what does a willpower of 1? I'm going to open up the benchmarks, because a willpower of 1 just sounds like I'm just like barely able to get out of bed in the morning. Weak-willed, easily swayed or influenced. Well, that's not. I mean, any of this can be role
You
play.
would be super naive for sure.
Yeah, and there may be a that could be make for good role playing. Hey, question is, do
being naive might be a low awareness too, though. Low willpower means you can be talked into things, though. Which,
yeah,
you're a teenager, so
that's no. I'm just distracted and likely overlook things with a awareness of 2.
okay. Let's see. You can acquire plant-like qualities like green skin, leaves in place of hair, bark-like coverings. Potential powers include affliction from poisons and pollens, life support, via photosynthesis, and mind control limited to insects via various pollens. You either retain your normal appearance or gain some of the physical appearance of the plants you mimic. Your choice when you acquire this power. So you'll need to decide if when you mimic powers, if you look like it, like you mimic strike, do you actually grow thorns? You mimic damage resistance, do you actually grow bark?
Mm-hmm. Now, if I moved a 1 to strength, I thought that would be an easy move to make. But even this sounds really bad. Like I can lift a few pounds or tear cardboard. I feel like that there's no. I feel like a character who's that weak would have no business even thinking about a life of crime fighting.
But you're a teenager. You've got time to like train and better yourself. So
yeah, that's true. Well, that's true. But even 1 just seems like in the bubble level strength, where like it'll be hard for me to justify even like, well, I could be, I don't want to make, I want to be careful about making assumptions about, capabilities based on a description, because,
also, your energy drain, you can do things with that energy.
That's a good point. Yeah.
One of those things, one choice you can make, I think, is to like empower a stat.
Yeah, but then paralysis is also one of the things I only have 1 in.
Oh yes, well that does become an issue.
But if I like say use my telekinesis to hold someone in place.
Oh yeah, that's an idea. Okay, let's see.
You know what? I think I am going to go ahead and trade in swap willpower and strength, because what does strength really mean if you have telekinesis in a broader sense? Yeah, you know what? Let's roll with it. I'm swapping out strength and willpower, and also it doesn't really affect my stamina because it's the same 2 attributes just swapped around. That means my telekinesis is usable, or practically usable. And I'm going to go ahead and rather than give myself a plus an additional power, I'm going to increase plant mimicry to 5, because I think that could be interesting.
Yeah, they get you to a good usable level too.
Yeah.
And I was wrong about energy drain. It heals you.
Okay.
I think it was absorption. I was thinking of where you could boost a stat with it.
All right. Yeah, actually, maybe I should look at energy drain too. I may drop that and like give an advantage, or like give an extra to like one of the other powers. But
okay, that'd be fine.
But that's still something I can determine at some point before.
But you're for sure going rolling into the plant mimicry.
Yes, because that's most interesting. Yeah, that's the most interesting of my powers.
All right, and Curtis has got reflection, and off the top of my head, I forget how reflection works.
I was reading it. Basically, I can, if a massive success, I return it. A success, I don't take damage. And I decided to use my transformed boost to bump reflection up to 5.
Okay.
And for my stat swaps, I swapped strength and willpower. So They're both high, but strength is 7.
So you are now
Willpower.
officially superhumanly strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
That seemed more better than like super determined.
And with reflection, that means you can punch laser beams that are coming at you like Superman in the old Fleischer movies.
Nice.
Let's see. You test your reflection power as a reaction with the attacking effects level as the difficulty. Okay. So you'd be rolling opposing the attack roll they just made against you. Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. On a major success or better, it reflects back. And the attacker suffers its effect.
Is it limited? Like, say somebody punches me, I'm not going to reflect that, am I?
Uh,
I don't.
On a failure, the reflection fails and you suffer normal effects. The marginal or moderate, you are unaffected by the attack. Oh, that's even on a marginal. So if you tie them, it works out to your benefit. But nobody takes any. But the other guy didn't take any damage either. It does not specify any particular attack.
Dang.
All right. So how do we explain? I'm trying to think of how that would work for a punch. It's easy to imagine if they're throwing something at you or shooting, blasting you or something.
Unless he's like putty.
We might just explain that as you get a quick kind of retaliatory strike against them or something. You're still kind of reaching up and kind of slapping their hand out of the way. But that looks like that's probably gonna make you the brawler of the team. And see, and you got the martial arts specialty.
Yeah, I figured I'd appreciate that bonus on the prowess.
Yeah, I mean, a 4 is
if
not
he's
bad.
going to be a prowler.
And you've got a defensive power and a good stamina, so
You better be careful.
you will likely be the team tank.
He will be a tank. Buddy the tank. That's like, geez, who's he going to be a legacy of?
All right, let's see here. Taylor, you've got spinning, energy. Ooh, you went with vibration for energy control. Kind of fits the spinning, I guess.
It fits with the spinning.
Be like Riptide from the Marauders.
Right. Oh, man. Yeah, I did something similar with my spinning character. I explained that her powers are kind of like her manifesting as like an interdimensional vortex. So she could power stunt to do things like mess around with dimensional control or dimensional travel abilities and whatnot, which is in tune with vibration.
One thing to remember, Taylor, is that all your powers have to be devices.
Yes.
Now, they don't have to be science devices. They can be, they can be magic. They can be, weird science. Well, they probably all be weird science. They were science, but. It'll be interesting to see how all those tie together.
Well, I can hook up 3 of them without a problem. I can hook up spinning, energy control, and leaping. Very easy.
Yeah, they could all be the same gizmo, give you basically the same set of powers.
The matter control is Oh, but it's just transmutation. So yeah. Okay, I've got an idea. I've got an idea behind the character, and I've already put the name to it. So
And what is that name?
Siegfried Samantha Richter.
Richter makes sense.
Does.
You actually had a New Mutant X-Force character named Richter that did vibrations.
Oh, well, the word Richter means judge. So that's
Really?
It's a German last name.
Yeah. Well, there's also the Richter scale that they measure stuff on.
Yeah.
But again, that was just some dude's last name. Is the only reason they use it. Now, is he from Germany? Because I know he's got kind of a German-sounding first name, too.
The first name came about just due to me remembering a character who did spinning as the main thing of how they fought people. So I just stole his name, or stole the name he stole flat out.
This is a Soul Calibur character, isn't it?
No, it's Kenichi History's strongest disciple.
Oh, okay. There was a Siegfried in Soul Calibur. That's right. He didn't steal his identity, though. He had killed his father and then went off to find his father's killer.
Yes.
Because that's just what you do.
Well, he was drunk when he did it.
Yes.
But anyway, SSR, origin gimmick. So the spinning, the energy control, vibration, the leaping will all be based on a not pneumatically powered, but like it's a device he has built to just, every time he takes a step, it builds up pressure that he'll then use outside through this suit.
I'm picturing him having kind of almost a... Does his tech have like a steampunk kind of look to it?
Slightly, it looks very... It looks like it's exposed, but all the important parts are tucked in.
Y'all
No.
science teacher's gonna love you.
The matter control, however, is completely a magical item. Siegfried has a device that copies the kind of the magical rune set for the only spell he's ever seen. He knows magic's real, and he wants to use it. So he's, basically devised a magical printing press for his hand, but he only knows the one spell.
Transmutation.
Yeah, because he's not attached to anyone magical. He knows no one in the magical community, but he's seen someone use a transmutation spell and remembered it. So that's the only spell he has in this thing. Because he doesn't know how to get in contact with anyone in the magic community. For him to further his interest.
Is that why he came to the school, hoping that he'd get in touch with somebody here?
Yeah, it's like, I understand how to build things. Don't you worry. I need to understand this crazy thing here. Because how does seven letters make sand into gold?
Do you have an idea for like the kind of a superhero name for him?
Well, because I'm stealing the name Siegfried, I'm looking through musical terms to see if there's something that like sticks out.
Okay. So you're working on it.
Yeah. Ooh.
Something jump out at you?
Yes, because having the exposed parts move about and look somewhat broken. His name is Rigajig.
I like it.
So it's RIG-A-JIG. Rigajig. You're being strangely silent, Jason.
Oh, I'm literally looking up. I think I've heard it before. I'm literally looking up Rig-a-Jig. And I'm finding a lot of children's shows with a song called Rig-a-Jig Jig.
Oh yeah, I forgot that that's a thing.
It's okay. I'm sure none of the other students will make fun of you for being named after a children's song.
We-
Rig-a-Jig Jig is a popular 19th century silly song where a young man encounters a pretty girl and it is useful for singing games since it is a familiar tune. It can be used by activity even though there are no available musicians. Alright, so we have our first named character, Rig-a-Jig. Let's see. And Curtis, did you come up with a name for your guy?
Kind of toying with Putty. That's not really a very good name. It may change.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, he's not malleable or anything like that, but he's got that regrowth and reflection. So, which kind of gets me in that direction without.
Alright, what about you, Zach? What are you thinking of so far for your guy?
Well, I used. Oh, let me pull the character sheet back up. I am going in hard on the vampire because it just works beautifully with everything I roll. So I swapped my prowess and intellect to give me a better chance of actually, grabbing someone with my energy drink.
Okay.
With the transforms perk, I bumped my strength up to a 7, and slapped the limit invisibility or minds only on invisibility.
Okay, so you're
So
not
using
invisible to
my-
machines or recordings. You can just make people not notice you.
Yeah, just the people with wet, squishy stuff in their hands.
Okay.
I also added life drain and infection to my energy drain.
Alright, what does life drain do? I thought energy drain was already taking their stamina. Oh, energy drain
Life
versus
drain.
strength. And then you took the extra for life drain. And infection. Let's look up what infection does exactly. A victim drained to death by a life drain comes back from the dead as an energy drainer like you, under your mental control. Okay. That sounds super heroic.
Absolutely.
Although,
So
I mean, you do have Morbius, the living vampire, and
Yeah.
Hannibal King was a vampire that didn't actually... He could do that, but didn't actually do it.
So how this is shaped out in my head is this kid is someone whose family was attacked by a vampire sometime maybe years or a few months ago. And he was the sole survivor only because maybe like a SWAT team showed up or another superhero vampire intervened just as he was on death's door and killed the vampire that had slaughtered the rest of his family, but couldn't bring himself to kill my character, who had was a neophyte, newly undead abomination, who has managed to retain his own sense of self and his own morality.
Okay.
And now he's trying to figure out, basically trying to learn as much as he can about and how he can use these new powers for something constructive, even if it is only making sure nobody else gets turned into what he is.
So, I'm picturing Marceline the Vampire Queen from Adventure Time. In that I'm picturing you out in the sunlight with a really wide brim hat. and like gloves. Of course, if you lean into the whole Morbius the living vampire sort of thing, maybe the sun ain't a big deal to you.
Yeah, that's something I've never been clear on. Is more allergic to sunlight, or is it just like a psychological?
I haven't read enough with him to know for sure.
Yeah, same. Like I have read one comic with him in it, and it's a Doctor Strange comic from the '80s where he gets into a fist fight with Doctor Strange. It's yeah.
But you can decide if he's like a living vampire or if he's dead or, well, you know, like in the original Dracula, he avoided noonday sun. But if it was the slightest bit overcast, he'd run around like normal.
Yeah.
You know, and you can kind of
Sunlight
define
when
that in your qualities too.
Yeah, sunlight wouldn't kill him. It just made him feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you got a name for him yet?
Not just yet, but I'm rolling a few around to my.
Be positive. Don't. That might get us sued by Marvel because they were going to do a vampire named that. I think they wound up canceling that book.
Wish they did. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, he was on the same team with Snowflake and Safe Space.
Oh God.
Yeah, there was a lot of blowback from that.
Oh, boy.
It quietly disappeared.
Oh, Marvel.
Oh yeah, did that never actually come out?
I don't think that version of the New Warriors ever actually got printed
Oh, okay.
because they thought they were being so cute and clever, and
Surprise, surprise.
nobody on either side of the political spectrum liked it at all.
Right.
Some like
Way to read the
promo
room.
of Safe Space and Snowflake, and it was very heavy Ultimate Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch vibes to it.
I saw like an artist, and not one associated with any like published comic book, who made an OC called Snowflake, and it actually looked cool. It was actually they did it earnestly and seriously, and where it did just seem like a cringy joke. It was actually kind of interesting, but yeah, it doesn't sound like that's what Marvel did.
And the artwork for the characters weren't bad. The artwork for the characters looked like something that you'd see in Masks. You know, like Mask, A New Generation. If you ever looked at any of that, it's a PBT
Oh, yeah.
super game.
That was half my hero roster in season 2.
All right, I would like to do some alterations to a power real quick.
All right, let me flip over to your character so I can see what you're talking about when you talk about it. Brigajig. All right, what are you changing?
All right, so currently leaping is level 4. I want to add 2 limits and an extra to it.
Okay.
So the first limit degrades. I'm using that as an excuse to bump up the power by 2.
Okay, limits do not bump up the power level of the power. They either give you extra determination, extra starting determination.
Okay, I must be looking at
or they pay for another. Well, if you're looking at something, tell me what page it's on.
I'm using the assembled, so it may not be the same rule. But page 84 is limits.
You may have just found something that I've missed. Goodness knows that's happened the entire 2 or 3 years I've been running this thing. You said 86?
Yes, or 84.
Oh, 84.
It's the first page on limits.
Limits. All right, let's see here.
It starts with, as extras expand powers, limits provide a means of narrowing the effect.
All right, so power exchange for greater levels. Let's subtract 1 from the power's value for reducing determination levels. Okay, that's the one that gives you determination back. Add an extra power without increasing determination costs. Okay. Oh, increase power levels rolled by 2 to a maximum of 10. Okay. Somehow I managed to miss that when I read through this. So yeah, that's fine. That's straight out of the book.
So degrades will pop it to 6. And then no stunts, extra passengers. Cancel each other out. Which means I cannot use a leap as an attack. It is just a travel power.
Okay, and you can't do anything funky with it other than just what's statted right there.
Yes. Other than I can take passengers with me.
Right. Okay, yeah, that seems reasonable.
That way it's very strong as a one-shot jump somewhere He gets weaker over time, but it's
Mhm.
just the travel.
And with the description of your gadget being that, it basically stores up pressure or power.
A
Making
leap.
the big leaps is,
Yeah.
is depleting what
Yeah.
it's got.
A leap that can literally go over a skyscraper takes a lot out of it, and doesn't build back up fast enough off the landing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that looks good, dude. I mean, sure, I'm looking at your power ranks and I'm seeing 666. And then
Would you like me to move matter control up so that it doesn't do that?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
I am not the little old lady. There was this in Hartsville where I work. There's this little chicken and ice cream place. Think like a Dairy Queen, but it's just a mom and pop's. And back when I was just out of high school, I'd go get 2 sandwiches and a milkshake, and that would always come out to $6.66. And there was one lady working there that it freaked her out every time. I'd see her eyes get wide, and then she would charge me $6.65.
Hey, penny discount.
That lasted for a year or two, and then the price went up on everything.
That was their Satan penny.
I wasn't complaining.
I also have some questions about energy control in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just says it works with one of the spectrum of energies, which I chose vibration.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The basic effect of the power is generally a blast of that type of energy, or possibly a dazzle for light or sonic, with the potential for many extras, including then a bunch of powers. What would vibration give?
Well, it's definitely most of the vibration controllers I can think of in comics. Yeah, blasting somebody is one of the first things they do with their power. But you could come up with other things. It could give you phasing. You could be vibrating your own molecules, to step through walls or whatever, or avoid attacks even.
Well, the question is more of, do I have to go ahead and just put down what kind of power it does, or like it's an open-ended enough power that I don't quite understand what direction.
Basically, you pick one power that fits vibration control.
Thematically fits. Okay.
Yeah, you pick one power. You've always got that effect is one you've always got access to, and then you can power stunt for other things.
Okay.
So you could just take blast, or you could take something more defensive, like I said, like phasing or whatever. Off the top of my head, I'm not thinking of much else you could do with it, but I'm sure there is stuff. I mean, time travel. That's how the Flash explains his time travel, his vibration stuff.
Would you be willing to accept? Would you be willing to accept fast attack?
Fast attack
from vibration, or
how is that giving you an extra attack? Well, I guess we could say that if you were like running up to punch somebody, with your spinning, it was causing a shockwave in front of you, so the shockwave hits them, and then your actual fist hits them. Or the fact that you've got spinning could just be the explanation. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Since it's all coming from the same device. Yeah, we'll let that do it. Should be fine.
All right, let me just put that down as. All right.
And then you can stunt into the other more typical. All right, so Zach's doing a vampire. You're doing rig-a-jig.
I guess for thematic purposes, it would be like a hit, and then the device vibrates to throw my arm back the other direction or something.
Yeah, it's fine. However you want to describe it.
Yeah. Kind of whips my arm around. Because that way it looks like I'm doing a jig. Looks like I'm doing a silly dance in combat while spinning and doing this nonsense.
All right, then we've got Curtis's brick, at least temporarily named Putty.
It doesn't fit perfectly, but I'm kind of liking it. I'm still drawing a blank on a legacy that, who he can be a legacy of. What kind of character?
Oh, I know who you could be a legacy of. You
He
could be
could
the
be Kid
sole
Primus.
survivor. You could be the sole survivor from Professor Putty. You could be the one human being that survives Professor Putty's energy drains. Because we haven't talked about Professor Putty since season 1.
Yeah, I wasn't there for season 1, so you have to fill me in.
Professor Putty was a stretchy character who also had energy drain and was addicted to using it.
Yeah. He would play himself up as this lighthearted, family-friendly hero. He was fighting this vampiric addiction back behind all that. Would have been really neat if the fella had
Well, that would
managed
explain the transformation, too.
In a fit of guilt, he could have just supplied you everything you needed for school.
I like that. I'll go with it.
Well, you're a legacy, which means you'd have probably been working with him before this. Because the dude was not playing his character as a villain. He just liked the idea of this, this kind of darkness back behind, kind of the family friendly.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad guy. He just had a sickness.
Yeah, I'm sorry your parents are dead. Uncle Putty's going to take care of you.
Well, he was Sherlock Holmes. He was just addicted to heroin.
And his heroin was people.
You got your determination set up right.
But he wouldn't have to be working with him. He could just be like, he was a random sole survivor that. Yeah, but then why would he have the name?
And working with, or maybe he was just training. Maybe he stumbled across you and offered to help train you just because he had powers.
Yeah.
And the only other choice was to go to Spear, and they're the government. You don't really want to trust them. All right, Mike. You got any thoughts so far?
Yeah, I'm thinking my character is going to be kind of like basically. I'm looking at the description of oddity, and I'm going to go with the ageless spirit and having a teenager's body, or in this case, perhaps even like a little younger than teenager. This is based on some artwork I just found that looks very, I think is capturing my imagination for this character. I'm envisioning her being basically I see someone else uses that ringtone.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still taking like antibiotics 3 times a day, so I set alarms so I don't forget.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
By all means.
Yeah, that's my ringtone for my wife. But I'm thinking that she's going to be a host for a Yoruban spirit, like a deity. Given that our campaign had just visited Nigeria, and I'm gonna post the artwork into
the Discord.
Yeah, because I like it because it's a neat bit of artwork here. So I don't know what the character's name is yet, but I'll figure that out shortly. I'm also planning on dropping Energy Drain, because especially since we've already got our vampire character, and also Energy Drain is not fitting into this concept I have for the characters as easily as the other powers. So that's the plan. Where is that? Where's that image? There it is. So artist is someone named Iga Oliwak. I have butchered that pronunciation, I'm sure. So I'm typing in the credit now into the post.
Oh, I got a moth thing going on with the.
So I just need to read up on my Yoruba and Pantheon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to envision that this is a character who maybe just recently came to global recognition, at least outside of Nigeria. During I envision her being one of the local supers who were fighting off the Kurumbas.
Okay.
And after
the hospital, I think it was hospital
right.
government building.
And I think I feel like this is a recent manifestation. Someone who's still. I think the biggest thing I have to work on is why is she choosing to go to this school that's located in the United States, unless it's like maybe it's part of a general effort to join, I guess, participate in the broader global supers community. But yeah, I guess we can finesse that as the game goes on. But that's my basic feeling for what this character is going to be.
Now, is it going to be that this deity is basically walking around in this body in charge all the time? Are they going to swap out control, kind of a old school Firestorm method?
Probably the latter, because I would like to be able to play this, as a human as well as the deity. It may kind of blend in. They may kind of blend in, but it won't just be just the god or goddess.
Okay. There's going to be some actual teenager in there.
Yes.
All right, so that gives us a supernatural. Yeah, you were one of the transformed, weren't you?
I was a birthright, actually. So,
Okay, well, that just means she might be descended from the deity and it's taken an interest in her.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's a fair point. Rather than I think I decided that she's like hosting the deity because I've got the oddity thing going on. So I don't think she's just a descendant. Strictly.
Or she could be a teenage deity. She's a deity, but she's not one that's been around a long time.
That's maybe that's good too. I'll definitely figure it out.
All these gods just don't know what to make of all these super people showing up all of a sudden. What? They're starting a school. Send one of our young ones. They'll blend right in. Come back and tell us about it. But yeah, we've got a couple of weeks before we actually play the first session. So
yeah, and who's playing Reggae and who's playing the vampire?
I am playing the vampire.
Oh, sorry. Is that was that Taylor or Zach?
That was
Zach
just
playing the vampire.
Oh, okay, sorry. True confession. Sometimes I have difficulty. Because you're the two who aren't on visual. Sometimes I have trouble discerning just between faces.
You're fine.
And what's the name of the vampire character?
I'm not certain yet. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll just put in vampire in quotes. Because are you a literal vampire or just someone?
Yeah, a literal vampire.
I'll take off the quotes.
And I'm thinking I'm going to slap unstable onto my energy drain because, yes, I have a thirst blood, but at the same time, I still have a natural, a still conscious revulsion to the idea of drinking blood. So sometimes, I'll start gagging or have a little panic when I realize whenever it hits me exactly what I'm doing.
Mhm.
You
Unstable.
have to like hold your nose and close
And
your eyes.
that'll let me slap Immortal on there to go full vampire.
Old school.
Let's
With
see.
the-
If you use your power in a fight or other tense situation, roll a die. On a 1 or 2, your power goes off random rather than doing what you intend. All right, that's unstable.
Or
Unpredictable. When you try to use your power, roll a die. 1 or 2, the power doesn't work.
that's what I'm looking for. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
So you try to use your power, but you get sick to your stomach at the thought of it. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Why am I picturing an anorexia storyline? Look, man, I know it's gross, but you've got to eat. You're wasting away. Alright, so we got Mike playing a goddess, Zach playing a vampire, then we got Rigajig and Putty.
I've decided to make another alteration to my
Alright.
powers.
That's fine.
On the matter control transmutation, it'll have a limit. It only affects metal. I can only transmute metal into other metals.
Okay.
With that limit, though, I'm giving it the extra of ranged, so I do not have to physically touch it.
So you can turn
just have-
steel into aluminum, or
iron into gallium. So, I may not be able to bust down a door, but I could just make the hinges a soft enough metal to just push it open.
okay.
But if it's, a big brick wall, can't do anything about it. It also helps solidify why all of my tech is metal, but it looks strewn about and stuff. It's just because I've been using the transmutation to warp and shape it. You make it a metal that's really easy to shape. You shape it, and then you turn it back into the good metal.
Oh. I'm just thinking of some nasty things you can do to big metal doors. Oh, it's a big steel door. Well, now it's mercury.
Yeah, you make it basically one that is liquid at room temperature.
And now, as it's running all over the place, now I let it revert back to steel. Because you don't want to leave a whole bunch of mercury just laying around.
Yeah.
Nugget, come here.
But see, that way, I like it because it's a limit that still fits the character because all of my suit is going to be metallic, or most of the suit is metallic.
All right, so we're about 2 hours in, and other than the fiddling with it, I think we've got the characters pretty well pinned down.
Are there any special guidelines for qualities?
Oh, I was forgetting about qualities.
Can't forget the qualities.
Not really. All of you will have the quality student for free. That will just be a fourth one y'all have on y'all, so that still leaves you with your 3 to come up with. Have any of you put any thoughts into your qualities yet?
Got a couple.
I've got one as well, but it involves discussing the background of the character. Because that's the whole thing, is we've got to come up with like the backgrounds a little bit to make the qualities.
Right.
I went ahead and added Soul Survivor and former sidekick of Professor Petty. Because, I mean, it just seems like if he's legacy, that counts as a good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. My qualities would be, Yoruba deity, for something related to the fact that she's quote unquote foreign exchange. And then the third one, I'm not so certain. Probably something personality related once I figure out what the personality is.
Okay. All right. In that case,
I have a lame question about the character sheet.
okay.
Oh yeah, the character.
What about the sheet?
Because I sacrificed life support to add regeneration or regrowth as an extra for regeneration, and I wasn't sure how we needed to mark that on the character sheet. Right now it just has regeneration level 4, and then as part of the description,
Regrowth.
regrowth.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I just didn't. I wasn't sure if there was a mechanic built into this interface or not.
No, the icon sheet's pretty simple. It does what you need it to do, but it's pretty simple as far as that goes. And it's not really
it does
important
some
that
cool
we remember.
stuff.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. But it's not like important that we remember that you sacrificed that or anything,
Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't know if it needed to be separate or it is an extra, so it's not its own power.
And let's see, one of our characters. Let's see, Mike was the birthright, I think.
Yes.
And what was it? What was it that you bumped up as your birthright?
I bumped up plant mimicry to 5 from 3.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we had remembered to bump all that because I kind of remember what everybody else had bumped up.
The reflection's going to be really fun, I think.
What's that?
The reflection power.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So another thing I wanted to get y'all's input on, or really, just going to make sure all of you had come up with one member of the faculty.
All right.
Really?
Now you have the options of having one of your previous heroes tied into this. Like I know early on we had joked about Landshark being the PE teacher or something, or the coach, or
He's not going to teach science.
or Starbound being the
The janitor.
Yeah, the janitor. Well, it's what he already does, so
Yeah.
He would just be moving from Lafayette to or not Lafayette. It was Shreveport. I think it's. He's just been moving from Shreveport to New York because we had decided earlier that New York was in or around New York City was where this place was going to be based. And the school is officially known as the Bruce Carter III Academy.
Who is Bruce Carter III?
Yeah, that was my question too.
None of your characters are going to know when they show up for orientation. It will be revealed, though. There's even sort of a hint in the school emblem, but anyway.
What? I'm looking it up.
Don't Google the name. That's cheating.
Oh, okay. I wasn't going to until you brought that up.
Well, I saw you lean forward and start clicking. I'm like,
No, I was
somebody
just going back
Google.
to the. I was just going back to the Discord to look at the image of the.
Oh, that's right. Because y'all aren't looking at the overlay like I am.
Yeah, I just assumed you made that name up, but if there's a,
Oh
I
no,
won't.
it's a character.
Just,
Okay, I would also like to do one last adjustment in my character now that I'm looking at it.
That's fine.
So I realize I'm going to need a higher prowess. So my prowess is a 2, my awareness is a 5. I'd like to swap those two.
All right. Have you not swapped anything up to this point?
No.
Okay.
This is the only swap I'm doing.
Okay, that will be fine then. Now, your awareness was not what you put your +2 in, correct?
Correct. It was willpower. Because
Okay.
willpower was a 4, I put the +2 in to make a 6.
Right. I didn't think it was. I was just going to check.
Understood.
Anyway, so the Bruce Carter III Academy is, registered private school. This is, when y'all start up, that is the first year the school's been, been running. They've basically been like renovating and building stuff, essentially through most of the last season. And we'll get into, there will be an orientation speech from the principal kind of at the start of the next session, which won't reveal everything, but, y'all will probably to some degree still be wondering who Bruce Carter is. But the general public does not know that this is a super school. The government does not know that this is a super school. Exactly. The Spear has been the Spear team is aware that what this is. The government agency is aware that the super community is starting up their own school, and they are basically trusting their super team to keep an eye on it to make sure nothing goes wild or anything. But they're kind of taking a hands-off approach and let the supers handle it. So for faculty, Curtis, do you have anybody that you would like to, either build or say has gotten a job there?
I still like the idea of having Landshark there.
Coach Landshark.
I mean, sure, Jay could be a music and art teacher, but
Well, we don't want to feel
Yeah, but Landshark's more fun.
Oh, you should have flopped down.
Hello, I'm Coach Bruce, and I'm a shark. All right, so we got Coach Landshark. He was officially made a member of the Spear team, and then they, after the emergency, they have this very special assignment for him.
mm-hmm.
Nothing should get him too upset at the school here.
He's undercover.
Oh, like a 20 as a student, like 21 Jump Street.
Now I'm picturing him at the little desk with the high schoolers.
Yeah.
Hello, fellow teens.
Oh, I just mean to keep an eye on the school.
Oh yeah.
I'm just imagining Landshark in the meeting going, yeah, children are our most valuable resource. It takes like 12 years to make a new one.
They're just picturing him as undercover, so, I'm Coach Bruce, and I'm a Stingray. All right, so
and I'm a WoW enthusiast.
All right, so we got Coach Landshark as coach. Mike, do you have any ideals for a faculty member?
I'd like Independence Ray to join the faculty.
All right, well, he
teach?
Flight.
That's a good question. I didn't thought about that. Now, here's a question: are the courses going to be like super centric as well as your standard high school curriculum?
You're going to have a lot of the standard high school curriculum, and then you will have, like, a course on learning powers or an introduction to magic. You know,
Yeah,
if you're a superhero, you kind of know a little bit about it, regardless of whether you're actually a magician yourself.
yeah, maybe I don't know, maybe some kind of tactics. Maybe
Yeah, there will
intro.
be a few different. There'll be a few different super specific classes.
I see him teaching one of those, like something tactics related.
Okay.
I envision him after the big cosmic kerfuffle, settling down for a nice teacher job. Rumor has it that he might be building his resume for a political career. He's also probably. I think I see him getting hitched up with Marcus as well, which Beltway gossips may also say is another hint of him preparing for politics.
All right. So Independence Ray, I just put it in parentheses as tactics right now. We'll figure out an exact term for the class. Taylor.
I think I would like to make a new instructor.
Okay.
I would also like to specify there is probably a unison ghost always around the school. Because that is now the new hotspot for problems.
Right.
All right. So Taylor is going to make a new one. And you can just send that to me anytime you come up with it, Or if you've already got an idea, you can spit out now, however. Zach?
I think I'm gonna offer up a wolf witch. I'm sorry, child spilled a thing. There was an emergency cleanup, and now she's all mad.
Oh.
But yeah, I'd say wolf witch is probably coming on board to act as the next generation's magic instructor.
All right, so we got Wolf Witch as Defense Against the Dark Arts. All right.
Well, she has already kind of adopted the mentor role between Everlast and Mott, and Priest of Mott.
For those of you that had teenage characters, are they going to this school?
Yes.
All right, so Everlast is here.
Not Everlast. Actually, not Everlast, but
Serpent Boy.
Definitely Serpent Boy.
Okay.
Patience may be a little too young, but if possible, she'd go.
Oh, let's see. I'm trying to think of how they would do that with her. Because I wasn't planning on there being an elementary here yet. Because, puberty being when most power is kicking in.
What's her intelligence? Or what's her intellect? Is there a potential for skipping grades?
Patience's attributes are as follows: 2, 2, 1, 3, 3, 4.
Okay.
She does have the intellect of an average adult human.
I guess it's all up to.
And she can read minds, so she could
Right, exactly.
She could just cheat.
I mean, they could just make
she?
a special dispensation because of her powers.
I
guess it depends on
hold
if
on.
you want her to be a teaching student.
Patience would definitely be able to rationalize it as it's not cheating. No rule states I can't read a mind.
Fair enough.
But also, it's a thing of all of my tests have to be verbal because I'm blind. Therefore, they'd immediately think of the answer while stating the question, and I would immediately know the answer.
So she may very well have skipped some grades.
To make sure that she was able to keep an eye on Serpent Boy and make sure that her negative influence has not changed him, yes, she would.
She's
really
paranoid about this imagined negative influence.
Yeah, Patience is real scared about the fact that she makes people worse.
Oh, that's right.
And how old is Patience?
She's I guess she'd be about 8 or 9 now.
You know what this means? It means Well,
It's a
actually,
lot
no,
of
it
skip
doesn't need
grades to
that.
get to 7th.
Like 3 or 4.
We'll say that she has skipped some grades, and that for her regular classes, it's kind of a one-on-one tutoring thing going on. And then she sits in on these super specific classes. Though they don't really... The kind of active, like, hand-to-hand combat kind of stuff, of course, she's not involved in. But she can be present.
Well, I mean, she's kind of there because she both has force field and healing. So it's oh, we went a little too hard. Patience, you got us. I gotcha.
Let's see. So technically, she's going to school there, but she's almost part of the support staff.
Can I make a pitch for a second faculty member?
Sure.
I was trying to think of. I don't see. I don't see Whippet being a student there, but I kind of want to keep using her background at least. So her mom, the Rook. I would like her to be like a faculty as well.
All right. She would probably be a combat instructor type. Or
Yes,
or maybe even investigation.
Yeah. I was envisioning something like not like almost maybe administrative or even like something as high as principal, because I envision her being like the kind of a Batman level of. Like she's definitely part of the prior. Yeah, well, I mean, I envision her as definitely being like a main character of the prior generation, and then the older daughter, Glowstick, being kind of like the up and comer, like on the front lines crime fighter, and then Whippet's always kind of like the wandering rebel, the Red Hood, as it were, except for without killing people. So yeah, I think the Rook would be. Yeah,
you can make her principal. That's fine.
Actually, I'm not sure if
or vice principal if you prefer that or something.
Yeah, I want to leave up to you to determine who the principal is, but she could teach like actually investigation's not bad. Like I was trying to think of like
I'll put her down as like assistant, either like vice principal or assistant principal, and then also have like classes.
Yeah. But I kind of I do regret not playing up that family. I didn't really like flesh out that family dynamic more, and this could be if we keep Rick active, that could be a way to continue doing it.
Because I'm picturing you guys going in as either 7th or 8th graders, depending if y'all would rather be 7th and 8th graders, that 12 to 13 kind of range.
I'm going to change some qualities that I put down to make them less creepy now.
Junior high.
We're not going to talk about it. I was thinking like 16, 17-year-olds.
Well,
so it's
not that big a deal. If y'all would rather do that.
Well, no, like it was 2 qualities. I'll just change them to something else.
Oh, okay. But I was picturing y'all being some of the younger kids, in this first class. Because I'm picturing Serpent Boy being probably at least a grade or 2 above you. And like, if Everlast was going to show up, should have been like senior or whatever. Did anybody else have any teenage heroes? Or was that just Mike's thing?
And besides Patience, or at least
Patience was like single digits.
You're right, that's true.
All right. So
I think I figured out a way that Everlast could be present in that. So my mother-in-law, she just retired, but she was a teacher, and she was part of a program where she would have like high school seniors who are interested in going into education, working with her, and that could be something that. There could be something comparable, some kind of superhero equivalent that Everlast could be a part of. Because I started being maybe, especially since I envisioned her as being my top tier character, as maybe being a little too experienced for even though she's a relatively new hero, I feel like she's had enough experience where she probably wouldn't be entirely enthused about just being a student, as it were. But if she were like kind of like that in between, kind of like a intern level teaching initiate kind of thing, that's a possible. I could see Everlast agreeing to that if that's something that would fit your plans for the game.
Yeah, that's fine. Intern. She could be the intern / teacher's aide for Wolfwitch.
Teacher's aide, thank you.
Yeah. I'm down for
Maybe
that.
she's getting part of a college credit for it, because I forget exactly how old she was supposed to be.
Yeah, about that. I think she was like 16 or something. But like in superhero terms, she's definitely at least like college level. So we'll say Wolfwitch aide, which is basically what she is now.
All right, so we've got, let's see. Just want to make sure everybody has given me something. Curtis gave us Coach Land Shark. We've got Independence Ray, the tactics teacher. Taylor's going to come up with somebody new. Wolfwitch's Defense of the Dark Arts. Or, excuse me, Introduction to Magic. Then we've got the Rook as either a tactics or a combats class, or investigation or a combats class, and probably like the assistant principal or whatever. Then we've got Everlast as an intern, and Servant Boy and Patience as basically as students in different grades.
I'm actually thinking back to the old Welcome Back, Kotter TV show, which is like one of my favorite shows as a kid. And the antagonist was the guy who's always hounding Mr. Kotter. He was a vice principal. Like he was like I can only imagine because the principal would probably be too busy to like mess around with the sweat hogs, but a vice principal would probably have that probably could easily have that be
the vice principal could focus on something a little smaller, where the principal has to worry about the entire school.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I like the idea of a vice principal role for the Rook. Oh, I love that show.
And if y'all come up with any other ideas, you can shoot them to me through the week or through the couple of weeks before the next session. One thing for the setup is, and this will happen in game, but essentially each grade will be divided up into a number of teams. So of course all the player characters are going to be put on one team, and then you will have potential rival teams for things like field days, classes that teach you about teamwork. You've kind of got your team for the year.
Cool.
If any of y'all ever read the old New X-Men Academy X book,
I read that.
Uh-huh.
That was a setup I kind of got from there, because you had like Cyclops was running a team called the Corsairs.
That's right.
Juggernaut had a team called the Exemplars. White Queen had the Hellions. I think Moonstar had the New Mutants. And then you had some lesser known ones that,
That was a neat series.
Yeah, it was. It was very neat. And then they started just kind of killing everybody off willy-nilly.
Oh, yeah.
You've got just a Armor, who was a minor character in that book, but Armor survived and is still running around with the X-Men.
Right. Yeah, she made it. She made the big time.
Hellion lost his arms, but is still running around with the team. Because, he's a telekinetic. Does he really need his arms?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure he'd like them.
Sammy the Fish Boy didn't make it out of the original stories.
Or
Though
Sammy.
he still gets mentioned in Juggernaut stuff, because that's something that stuck with Juggernaut. My favorite thing with that kid, though, was he was thinking about calling himself the Submariner when he got grown. I think that name's taken. Really? By who?
Kids.
He actually made an appearance in the Wolverine and the X-Men cartoon. Like a little cameo. I'm not entirely certain he survived that either.
That was a fun run at the beginning, Wolverine and the X-Men, when he was the principal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had that one season.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there anything else we needed? is where we're at. Yeah, we're only a little over 2 hours, but I think that's it. We've basically got everybody taken care of, other than, all of you figuring out your backstories and stuff.
Right.
That may take more time than
Yeah, I'm looking at baby names right now, trying to name my character.
I laugh, but one of my carry bags, my RPG stuff, has got a baby name book in there, and that book has been in there for years. I've even got I think Judges Guild did a book of archaic names laying around somewhere. For when I need to name some elf or some ancient Roman or something. All right, can y'all think of anything else we might want to go over?
I'm ready to play. Well, I guess
I've
he
got
needs
I've
an
got
actual
some
name.
qualities put down, so I think I'm hammering out
All
the
right.
story of Siegfried.
Okay, I like some of those qualities, and some of them I don't understand, but that's okay.
Here's a question.
Mhm.
Why would Native Americans have a name that means blue-haired? Because I don't think they dyed their hair.
But do you
I
know
mean,
But do you know for
Your
sure?
hair goes gray.
I do not.
It can look a little blue.
Maybe they were big anime fans. I don't know.
I saw that and it's like, huh.
I would wonder if it was a reference to something maybe out of some culture's mythology, or
Could
or
be.
if maybe somebody had hair dye. I don't know.
I don't know enough about the culture to say with all certainty that no, it was never dyed.
It's also possible that we said that somebody mistranslated the name.
Oh, I mean, there are no mistranslations or misinformation on the net.
Oh no,
No,
it's on the internet. It's got to be real.
it has to be.
All right, let's see here. Oh, looks like Zach's got some qualities already. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy that last one.
I'm probably gonna tweak the name of it because I don't like the name, but that's the general name. Because I did want her to have a specific weakness.
That's also gonna be fun with the goddess on your team.
Exactly.
All right.
What is your last quality? Because my last quality is the one I made that was silly.
The divine hurts me.
Ah.
Just fits the vampire thing.
Yeah.
Also, might mean I might have to bring the reliquary back again because he's got the Celtic god Lu's spear.
Oh boy.
Did I take that from him?
Yeah,
You'd have to re-get it.
I like that.
He might have to steal. Oh no. Well, clearly he won't do that. All right. Well, if y'all can't think of anything else, because I've got some of the faculty from y'all, which is one thing I wanted to be sure to remember.
Yeah. Now I just need a couple more qualities and I'm good to go.
I just need a name and a personality.
We do need to make sure everybody's got the determination figured out. I know at least a couple of y'all had already done that. So let me go through and look at everybody's sheets.
If I'm calculating right, my strength is super strength, reflection, regeneration, and then the extra, so that's 6 minus 4 is 2, right?
That looks right.
Okay.
And I've got 3 determination points because I dropped energy drain.
The willpower of 6 isn't superhuman, is that right? So that doesn't count?
Yeah, it's 7 or higher. Anything 7 or higher
Okay,
counts as a power. All right, so let's see. Our vampire friend has got 1 power, 2 powers, 3 powers, a stat that would count as 4 powers.
Several limits and a couple of extras with.
Do your limits and extras counteract? Let's see. Limit minds only, limit tiring, limit unpredictable, and then you've got life drain, infections, and immortality. So yeah, your limits and extras cancel each other out.
Yeah.
So you got 4 minus 6. So your start determination should be a 2.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Wasn't totally sure.
All right. We just went over putties. So with Mike, power. None of his stats are over 7. So yeah, 3 should be 3 starting. That's what you got written down, so that's good. Rig-a-jig. Power.
4 powers, but nothing's 7 or above. So.
And then you've got, let's see, degrades, no stunt, extra passengers. So passengers and stunts counteract. So that still leaves you with degrades. But you used degrades to bump a stat up, didn't you?
Yeah, to bump up the rank by 2.
Okay. And then matter control, transmutation, you limited it to metal.
But gave it the extra ranged. So they cancel out.
Cancel out. So that is 4 minus 6, so it's 2, which is what you've got. So all right, your determination is where it should be. All right then. We're ending it just a little bit, well, not as early now as I was thinking, because it is 3:40. But all right, I guess we're going to wrap up here. So we've got our characters. In the coming 2 weeks, you can finish filling out your qualities for those that are still working on that. A couple of you still got to come up with names and whatnot. And I'll probably get with y'all about what the characters look like and try to get some kind of art, representative art. And then we will pick up next time with your first day at school, orientation, and I don't know, maybe like an obstacle course to get you used to working together or something.
For costumes, are we going to have like school uniforms or team
That
uniforms?
was something I was going to bring up.
Good question.
It's up to you whether or not you walk around the school in costume all the time. But when you roll out for, say, an obstacle course or a field day or an exercise where you're exercising as the team, go ahead and have some kind of like superhero costume designed.
Well, I figured like, would it be a team uniform or would it be individual? I'm thinking
That's up to y'all. However y'all want to do that.
I think it should all be the same, like the old X-Men.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
It's more fun for us as individuals to have individual uniforms, but
I would
I
like
think
to
considering the setting.
suggest. I would like to suggest the system from an anime. Obviously, Hero Academia has them all wearing a school uniform, but as they go through the year, they design a costume for themselves for when they become heroes.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's like once you graduate, you'll get your own costume. But when you're in school, you wear the school's uniform.
Okay, so we'll start you off in a school uniform, and it will probably be like part of a class period or something y'all spend designing kind of your individual suits. So as you progress through the year, you may transition into your individual suits for certain activities. And you can decide if it's just going to be a domino mask, or if you're going to have a full mask, or, wear helmets, that sort of thing.
I kind of envision that there could be a class even just on secret identity maintenance, like the real nitty gritty kind of like details of what being a super is
But
like.
that might be a higher grade class than what you guys are going to be at starting
Yeah,
off the spring.
Starting.
True.
That's more of a junior senior thing because you're getting close to actually kind of going off on your own.
Yeah. The ethics classes would be really interesting at the school.
The ethics of law and vigilantism.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Justice, not law.
Killing
All right, then.
bad.
What was that?
Killing bad.
beating within an inch of their life, A-okay. Oh no, if I hit them one more time, they die, so I stopped now. I didn't kill them, I just kneecapped them. After they surrendered.
Well, I'm looking forward to playing this character. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Same.
everybody came out with something usable.
That's
Which,
really
like I
fun.
said, is easy to do when you can swap some stuff around.
Mhm.
All right, then. Well, of course, this wasn't like a normal game, but I hope everybody had fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
It's a nice creative exercise at the very least. Hope anybody at home, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll check us out in 2 weeks when we actually start playing with these characters. Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm so used to doing announcements at the end on Tuesdays. But there really isn't anything else to announce because this is pretty much what we do on this channel.
Yeah, we won't have to pick characters either for the next session.
Do what now?
We won't have to pick characters for the next session for at least a little while.
That's true.
Huh?
Because this first little vignette, I know y'all know this, but just for anybody listening, I'm going to throw it out there, is we're planning to go about 10 episodes. It might go 12. I mean, we're aiming at 10-ish, not counting this session 0. I'm going to try to do better at constructing stories that we can do, per session without as many two-parters, or at least not as many unintentional two-parters.
That is so hard to do.
It is. I'm really kind of going to sit down. I'm kind of going to sit down and read a couple of synopses of like individual episodes of like, Saved by the Bell and stuff. Just to give me an idea for like the school related plots, and then have to work the super stuff into it.
Not a bad idea, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit through entire episodes, but I can read synopses. So anyway, for anybody out there, we will see y'all later. Please join us in 2 weeks for session 1 of Icons Academy here on the Nerd Hurl Network. Bye.
Take care.
Laters.